What's up, everybody? Monster Master Godzilla here, and I'm here to continue the Evil Dead-A-Thon. We're now up to Army of Darkness. Now, this is the third film, the third one of the third and final of the original trilogy, Army of Darkness. And right here, it continues the events of Evil Dead 2, but then, of course, like in the beginning of Evil Dead, like in Evil Dead 2, the part when Ash's friends and sister were like retconned out and only shows Ash's and Linda on a romantic vacation. And this time, the intro shows them developing the storyline, where Ash narrates how he got trapped in medieval times. It explains that. So then when they got up to the part when Ash got into the part where he talks about how he cut off his own hand with a chainsaw. He even said the famous line, "It got into my hand and went bad, so I lopped it off at the wrist," which is then repeated on Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is the TV series. And then we have once there is a, so then we have a, so then we might have a series where, so this part, Evil Dead Army of Darkness, which is technically Evil Dead 3, is where they completely developed Ash's character. That's right, they fully developed Ash's character in Army of Darkness. The first Evil Dead, Ash was a nobody, just another face trying to survive. Then part 2, they developed more of his character, where he's like comic relief, where he's cracking jokes and being awesome. And now part 3, Army of Darkness, is where they completely developed his character. And it revealed that before Ash went on a romantic vacation with Linda, he was an employee at a place called S-Mart. And the phrase of that one, where he used to say, "Shop smart, shop S-Mart." And then after Ash got trapped was later sucked into a portal at the end of which ended with in Evil Dead 2. The funny story is that when they introduced the film, they said Bruce Campbell versus the Evil Dead, which that's really not the title. Just only calling that because Bruce Campbell's the star of the movie. And now, it turns out, you would think that, of course, you would think they would follow the ending of part 2 when all the knights are yelling "Hail." But it turns out that Ash was been taken as one of the slaves and got captured and taken into their slaves. But it turns out Ash ends up being the and ends up getting into a fight with the Deadites, one of the Deadites, and he survives that, of course. And then after that, he ends up showing how badass he is in front of the villagers. And he says, "All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up. See this? This is my boomstick." Which is what his nickname. Which boomstick is the nickname of his nickname of his 12-gauge double-barrel shotgun. And he said, "You can find this at the sporting goods, top of the line. Shop smart, shop S-Mart." So then there was this prophecy going on where Ash was given, where he's the chosen, where he was the promised one, which basically the chosen one. So Ash was given and so then Ash was been sent to And so then it was a. And then when you see that Ash goes on an adventure to find the Book of the Dead, and he's supposed to say Klaatu Barada Nikto, which that's actually a name of a phrase from the original film, from the original 1950s classic, The Day the Earth Stood Still. And also Ash, he ends up building a mechanical hand, which has a bit of cyberpunk, which had a bit of a steampunk in there, especially in the medieval times. So, also, Army of Darkness was also known as the Medieval Dead, or Evil Dead 3, which technically this is Evil Dead 3. So, then supposedly, then Ash ends up going into find the book. And of course he got chased down ends up getting chased down by the evil spirit, by the evil lurk in the air. And then there was a funny moment where he ends up getting, after he gets to the Klaatu Barada Nikto, and he ended up screwing it up, saying Nickel, Nico, and he forgot the whole phrase. Yeah, he really screwed it all up. And there was also some very funny twists throughout the film, like when he got oh my god, oh. I can't help but laugh right now. It's this time they really took it up a notch with the comedy, where he had some cartoonish twists, like when they messed up his face and he's trying to fix it after he picked the wrong book, where he shakes his head like, and that's when he's trying to fix his face, and we're all cartoonish looking. And after he found the right book, then he ended up screwing it all up. And plus, there was also evil ashes that he ends up killing, especially one that were tiny, where he ends up singing the song, London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. And and then one of the clones of him ends up coming right through him, and it turns out to be an evil one. So he ends up killing that Ash, and only to have it resurrected, and it became Evil Ash, and of course the Evil Ash ends up forming a skeleton and dead-eyed army, which is basically the Army of Darkness. And there was a moment where Ash gets beaten up by skeleton hands, and he tries blocking it, only to get beaten up by the skeleton hands. Which, that's other funny moments. And then, during the battle, Evil Ash has a moment where his jaws broke open and keeps fixing it. He's like this. Oh man, it was such a twisted, funny moment. Oh boy. So yeah, this one is like a straight up comedy. Of all the Evil Dead trilogy, Army of Darkness was a straight up comedy. That's basically how it was. And then Ash fights the Army of Darkness with the help of the army, with the help of the King's army. And then, after the defeat of Evil Ash, original people in the village wanted him to be king, but realized that his place is in his proper time. And so he was returned back to his proper time, where he continued his life as as a where he continued his life as a S-Smart employee, and Linda's there again, altering the timeline where she never died. And then at the end, the Deadite comes around, attacking the store. And so Ash ends up taking the shotgun and kills that Deadite. And also, before killing it, he said something like, "Lady, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to leave this store." The name's Ash. Housewares. And so, after Ash kills that Deadite, it ends with one final line where he says to his girlfriend, "Hail to the king, baby," and kisses his girlfriend. And that's the end. And what I have here right here is the Screwhead edition, which is what I got here on Blu-ray is the Screwhead edition, which is basically the special edition. And right in the back it says here it has a alternative ending. The alternative ending where Ash ends up getting sent back in time. Well, in the actual movie, Ash does mention that he was given a potion where he would drink it, and he would sleep for years until he comes back from his proper time. Well, in this one, in the alternative version, in the alternate ending, Ash ends up drinking that potion, and then wakes up realizing he slept too long, and he ends up being in a post-apocalyptic era, which could have been like Evil Dead 3, ending for Evil Dead 3, which is quite a twisted ending, when Ash realized he slept too long. Now, that was quite a... I mean, I really like both endings. Both endings are actually awesome. I mean, would it have been more successful? Would it have been better? I mean, I don't know. I don't know which ending I like better. I just really like both endings. But it's hard to say because the alternative ending was really horrifying, while the theatrical ending was actually heroic. So here's what I got so far. Like, I really loved the original Evil Dead trilogy, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, here they all have something different. The first Evil Dead is a straight-up horror movie. Like, it was a dark tone, like no comedic moments whatsoever. It had more sad moments. Evil Dead 2 was a mixture of horror, action, and comedy, which is why Evil Dead 2 was the best. And then Army of Darkness was a straight-up comedy, which all of them were really great. All of them were great and fun movies to watch. So, I would definitely, if you're wanting some good horror movies, you definitely should grab this one in your collection. It's definitely worth a watch, and all the comedy was quite an impressive entertainment. Especially same with dark humor, and you would even love it even more, especially for being a Bruce Campbell fan, such as myself. And as always, stay tuned for the next Evil Dead movie, which we will be talking about the 2013 remake, which, well, I'll explain my opinions on it in the next review. And as always, stay awesome, my Monster Masters, and the rest of the Evil Dead-A-Thon and the Evil Dead-A-Thon shall continue. And that's all I have to say, folks, and as always, stay awesome, my Monster Masters, and I'll catch you later.